Alrighty. Hold on one quick second, guys. Hold on. Let's see. Wait a minute. Okay, so hold on one second, guys. Hold on. Hmm. Okay. All right, so we are good to go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it may be when you all are tuning in to this broadcast. I am your international award winning author, filmmaker, lit coach, life coach, empowerment specialist. And for the purposes of this podcast or broadcast, I should say, your APS Artist Promote Success founder. And I am not going to be on here long. I just have to make a quick announcement. So you guys give me a quick second. I know a whole lot of folks. I know you guys are at work still, and it's okay. But I do want to make sure that I make this announcement to a lot of those who have typically followed APS, those who have participated with APS. So I want to make sure that I tag those folks. So y'all give me one quick second just to give me the opportunity to tag folks that are connected to the APS family. So as you guys come in, and again, hold on one second. All right. I think this is enough for right now. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, well, hopefully it comes in right. Hopefully, folks are tagged. But listen, like I said, whether you are watching from Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, thank you very much. I will probably go on Instagram independently to make a quick announcement. But I did want to wait a minute, why am I freezing? Okay, I gotta make sure I ain't freezing, y'all. I want to just come on really quickly, and I'm trying to think of other folks that should be tagged. If you did not get tagged in this announcement, please charge my head and not my heart. I just thought about somebody. Wait one second. Um, so I just want to make sure that everybody, like I say, those who normally um mm, hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. Give me a second. You know how when you normally like stuff can normally just come to your mind naturally, but when you actually need for your mind to work, it just ain't. It's one of those moments. So give me a quick second, because like I say, there are certain people who are and have been part of the APS family for a very long time, and so I just want to make sure that everybody who should be tagged is, but again, I know it's way more people than just this, but it's just a point that um I don't know. I'm having a brain freeze right now, so we good. But listen, long story short, this year we know that normally August is the year of the gala. I have had a few different people hit me up. What's going on with the gala? When will we see the announcements for the gala? Because you guys know I've been doing the gala since 2017. Those of you who do not know, you're like, what is the APS gala? Kind of glad that y'all asking because that gives me a chance to explain. So the APS, Artist Promoting Success, that is the name of one of the organizations that I founded about 10, 11 years ago. And so every year since 2017, I have hosted a gala, right? So this is something that comes out of my own pocket. I have not been sponsored by anybody. Nobody has told me to do it. But as of 2017, I created this gala solely for the purpose of promoting, celebrating independent. And when it started, it was independent authors. It was all about independent authors, right? So, what I did was, because back in the day, I had my own physical bookstore, and so like we recognized and awarded the best selling authors out of my bookstore. With the organization itself, I will honor those who I deem were the MVP. There were typically two MVPs. Also within the organization, I have a publishing company, so I will honor those individuals who published through me for that particular year. And it was one something else that I did, and this was all when we first got started, right? A year or so after that, I created there's another category that was the artistic visionary of the year. And then I want to say after that, I created, so maybe in 2019, we did the book review of the year. So like every year there were different categories being expanded to the APS brand, right? And so then 2020, we know that there was a whole pandemic, everything was shut down. So there was no awards that year. When we came back, I want to say it was in 2022, actually, we started where we incorporated all of the arts, so not just authors, right? So now we incorporate another category that was the indie artist of the year, and that was whether you were a filmmaker, a singer, or a poet. So now we were able to acknowledge the literary as well as performance and visual arts, because that is the heart of what it is that I do as an independent myself. My goal is to always embrace, acknowledge, celebrate those who are traveling down this road as well, because it is not an easy path to take. Many times, you are being baptized by fire because you don't know, like if it's not for, hey, Miss Tracy, hey, Yvonne, hey, Josh. So if it's not for individuals like myself, organizations like mine that are there to kind of guide, mentor, assist you through your journey, you end up making a whole lot of mistakes. You end up getting burned. You end up getting scammed. A lot of times people are traumatized, discouraged, whatever it may be. And so that's really the purpose that my organization for these 11 years has served, is to keep artists not just in Chicago, but across the country. And in fact, I want to say 2019 or 2021 when we became an international awards, because we had people from different countries who were submitting their books for review, right? So last year I did not do the book contest, right? So we were not awarding the award winning authors. So, and again, that's important to note as well. As we have continued to evolve, certain categories that we initially had were no longer there, other categories were created. So again, we just kind of going and growing and going, right? And so in either case, the point is, so we now are, the goal is to kind of celebrate all arts across the board. This year though, guys, I need y'all to be patient with me, because you have not heard me announcing anything about the gala, because this year there is no gala to announce. And in true Tennille fashion, there is more of a story that comes with this. I just am not at liberty at this moment to be able to share the why behind it. But just know that God is in it. Know that He is always glorified, right? Like in April, around April or May, I knew that I was not going to be doing a gala this year. I prayed on it. And, it wasn't a particular reason why. It wasn't, that anybody had done anything evil to me. It wasn't like no hard feelings. It's not, oh, I'm discouraged. Woe is me. It's nothing like that. It's just that God hadn't let it resonate in my spirit to do a gala. And in fact, those who are members of APS knows that I actually have taken a hiatus. I announced, when was it? I announced a few months ago that APS was going to be on hiatus. So there has not been a network meeting or anything, because there was some things that I needed to do behind the scenes. Hey, Miss Tiffany, there was some things that I needed to do behind the scenes, right? And this is from personally and professionally, right? So there was some things within myself that I was working on. Matter of fact, I want to say this was in May, because this was probably right after my grandfather passed away. And I just kind of let everybody know that I needed to go on hiatus, and I needed to do it for myself. So for a personal standpoint, I needed to regroup, but also professionally, right? Because those of you who have your own organizations, those of you who do your own thing, that burnout is real, right? Whether you're a one person team, you know what I'm saying? So you're the person that is you're doing it all. You are, owner, operator, whatever. And so, it's not always the easiest to do everything, but it's necessary that everything needs to be done. And so, again, I have not just started this journey, I've been in this journey for over a decade. And so, you have to proceed with caution, right? Meaning that, come on, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Hey, Miss Latasha, burnout is real, and you have to proceed with caution, and you have to proceed in wisdom. And so, like, for me, if anybody asks me, I'm saying, like, from day one, before there was any organizations of any kind, before there was a APS, the organization, the publishing company, the bookstore, the writer society, the book awards, before there was any of that, I started out as an author, right? And so, even as an author, like, for me, in one of my books, I remember when I was asked about my first book, and they asked about why I do what I do. The answer was then this, and it still is now. It's for my family. Like, my top priority, the reason why I do everything is my family, right? And so that means that I always have to make sure that they're good first, right? Like, everybody is to each his own. This is not a podcast, or the broadcast is not telling anybody how you should live your life and what priorities should be first. That's not what this is. I'm telling y'all just personally as Tennille, for Tennille. Tennille is always going to do whatever is best for my family. And then I'm actually proud of myself, because when I started looking at and assessing, because the same things I tell y'all as a life coach, lit coach, I do these same things for myself, right? Because anybody who actually knows me knows I'm an authentic person. What you see is what you get. I don't apologize for who I am, because it took me a lot of time, a lot of working on myself to become who I am, right? Like, there were a lot of years where I struggled with insecurities, a lot of years where I went through a whole lot of stuff. And so, to finally be the woman that I am and be able to be proud of her, that's something that I am proud of. Like, I don't apologize for that. I understand everybody might not like it, might not get it, and it's okay. But for me, right, once upon a time, I was not on my list of priorities at all, much less the top five. But I was not a top priority. I was not a priority on my list. But over time, with growth, with age, with wisdom, having a better relationship with God, like, I understood that I mattered as well, right? And so, for me, it is important that I be okay mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. So that's always going to be something that me is going to always be someone that I tend to. That and my family will always be first, no matter what. All that said to say that I was going through some things, again, from an emotional standpoint, having lost my grandfather, I lost some other people as well. And I just was at a place where I was not sure that I had more to give. And before I hurt you, I would just stop, right? If I can't help you, I'm not going to hurt you. And for me, if I'm in a place where I'm not 100% whole, then I need to take a minute and I need to regroup, right? And so, for the organization, I made that announcement. So, if you are a member of APS, you got this announcement in May. It was like late May, early June. You got this announcement then, because I kind of went on hiatus. You guys who follow me, you probably saw some different things because I wasn't live as much, because again, I'm regrouping. And again, the main announcement, I can't make that announcement yet, but um from the things that I can say, it was a lot being a mom. Two of my daughters, well, three of my daughters actually are now in college. I got a senior, one that's going to be a senior this fall, one that is a sophomore, and one that's a freshman. Okay. And so that was some of the work that I had to deal with, because um getting to an age where your children are officially kind of becoming adults and they're transitioning, that was hard to I had to figure out how to deal with that, and how to get through feeling my feelings in that, and still be able to be their mom. But one of the proactive decisions that I made was, especially the one that's about to be a freshman, I've shared this, you guys know that she's going to Clark Atlanta. And in fact, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be taking her to Atlanta. But That was hard. Coming to terms with that, couple months, like I say, that one and the other one that's a sophomore, they're both moving out this year to live on campus. So they'll be back home, but during school they'll be living on campus. But that's still difficult for me, right? And so I kind of made a conscious choice that I wanted to be able to enjoy all of whatever this time was that I had left with them. That's what I wanted to be able to put my energies into. And so that's what I've really been doing. I've really been in mommy mode. And I know for some people they may not get it, and it's okay. Like some people may say, hey, they're that big, you should be living your life. And I will be. Trust, come September I will be, but like right now we're just in this season. And like I said, I made this decision around April to May that I would not be doing the gala. I did not know that certain things that are transpiring now, I did not know that they were on the perimeter, or I didn't even know. Like, so God blows your mind. Hey, Jeffrey. Hey, Shalonda. So God blows your mind. If you give him the opportunity to, he blows your mind. And I will stop here to say this: for everybody who is watching, whether you are on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, and you are watching this, I am sincerely saying from me to you that I pray that this is your Ephesians 3 and 20 season. And for those of you who may not be believers, for those of you who don't read the Bible, Ephesians 3 and 20 says, now unto him who is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that you could ask or think, according to the power that worketh in you. So first of all, I pray that you will not just learn how, but be courageous enough to activate the power that is in you. And when you do, I pray that God will blow your mind, that no matter what it is that you have been asking him for, what it is you have been believing him to do, I pray that this is the season that you will come into your Ephesians 3 and 20 blessing. That has been something that I have been meditating on probably for the last maybe 3 months or so. And it's so great when God does it, not just for you, but I believe that I serve a God that is not a respecter of persons. And so, whatever He's able to do for me, He can do for those who are connected to me as well. And so, I genuinely wish all of you, now it's up for you to receive it. It's up for you to walk in it, but I definitely put it in the atmosphere for you all, that this be your season of Ephesians 3 and 20, that God will bless you exceeding abundantly above all, that he will truly blow your mind. But anyway, and in conclusions, thank you so much, Jeffrey. But in conclusion, y'all, there will be no gala this year. There will be no gala this year. All is well. Nobody is in trouble. Nobody is sickly. There is no negative connotation that is associated with it. When I'm able to release the news on the other end as to why and how God blew my mind, because even when I knew in April and May that I was not going to do the gala, I had no reason, no knowledge as to why. I just knew I wasn't doing it. I had no idea that God was setting me up for something. And so it was in divine order that I not be doing the gala this year. But again, that announcement is soon to come. But I'm just grateful, and to everybody who has been riding with APS all of these years, or even if you just heard of us yesterday, thank you guys so much. APS is not done officially. Like, obviously, whenever you see me, like, I'm still the lit life coach, right? So whether you're saying you want to have a lit life, I'm your life coach to make that happen, or you want to have a lit life, I'm your coach that can, help you literally. So um APS is still going on. You just may not see as much. Again, like, things are different, shapings of things are different. So like, you may see me more so pushing myself as that lit life coach, whether it is individually or collectively, right? So whether you need that one-on-one help, or within that organizational body of APS. And my goal, my desire is that when I come back, that I'm able to come back strong and help all of those whoever needs help. And like I say, we're just going by whatever the spirit is giving me, whatever God is telling me to do. I like to act in obedience. There may be a shift, right? Where maybe it's not APS as you once knew it, but there is still some remnants of it. But however God leads is how we're gonna go. So that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to come on. I did not want to put this in a text because, or not a text, but a post. I did not want to do that because I respect you all too much to do that, right? Like, if I could have called everybody that's connected to APS, knowing me, I probably would have done that. But I felt like this was as close to an in person message that I could give. And it's the first of the month. So this is a month of new beginnings. And so, yeah, so there will be no APS Awards Gala. I would probably put it as a story or as a reel, so that way you guys are aware. But for those of you who see this message, please feel free to share, to tag somebody who has been to the APS Gala, who has asked about the APS Gala. Be sure to tag them to let them know, give them the message. There will be no 2024 APS Awards Gala, but all is well. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I won't be live at 6, y'all. This whole week, the kids are finishing out all their after school matter stuff. So I'm just in straight mommy mode. I shared with y'all yesterday. Angel was it yesterday? No, Tuesday, when she did her dance. So she has another performance tonight. And then tomorrow, Jariah has her performance. And so I won't be live at 6 officially, but I'll still be, uploading some of that so y'all can share in what they're doing. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Until next time, you all stay inspired.